Welcome to Sunshine Lost, a series focusing on individuals who disappeared throughout the state of Florida. I'm your host, Benjamin Thomas. Andrew Caballiero was born in Miami, Florida, to 40-year-old Ardeli Garcia Valdez and 49-year-old Ernesto Caballiero on January 18th of 2020. He weighed 7 pounds and measured 18 inches. Andrew's parents were separated at the time he was born, despite Ernesto agreeing to financially help his mother, Arlette, during her pregnancy. After Andrew was born, Arlette temporarily relocated with baby Andrew and his 9-year-old sister to Andrew's father's house in the 21900 block of Southwest 187th Avenue in Homestead, due to a sickness in the family at the time. Because of the time frame, the illness stricken within the home was possibly COVID. There is little information regarding the history of Andrew's parents, and Andrew was just 1 week old at the time of his disappearance. During the morning hours of January 28, 2020, Andrew's maternal grandmother, Isabel Valdez Gonzalez, 60 years old, and maternal great-grandmother, Lena Gonzalez Lacour, 84 years old, were visiting with Andrew and his mother Arlette at Andrew's father's 4-bedroom house in a Redlands neighborhood near Homestead, Florida. According to surveillance cameras that were installed in Ernesto's home, he arrived at the house around 10 o'clock a.m. If details are known, they have not been released, but at some point during the visit, Ernesto decided to wield an AR-15 rifle and killed Andrew's mother, grandmother, and great-grandmother. Following the incident, Ernesto gathered some things, including Andrew. He hopped in his white Ford E-150 van and took off, which was sometime around 11 o'clock that same morning. When police learned of Andrew's abduction, they immediately issued an Amber Alert just after 12 o'clock noon on Wednesday, sending out a notification to all cell phone users in Florida. Digital highway signs also displayed Andrew's information throughout the state. Authorities deployed helicopters and police dogs to aid in their search. Reports indicate a blonde woman was seen with Ernesto with his van before the triple murders occurred, but authorities believe she was checking on the van. Police never identified this woman to the public. Pasco County Sheriff Noco said in 2020, quote, "I sit here and pray to God. That is true and that she has the baby. If that woman is out there, please come forward. I promise you, all we care about is little Andrew is okay," end quote. The next day, on Wednesday, January 29, 2020, someone reported discovering a body in a wooded area near the town of Blanton in Pasco County, Florida, which is located roughly 320 miles away from Miami. It takes about 4.5 hours to make the drive. Pasco County borders Pinellas County to the north, Pinellas consisting of St. Petersburg and Clearwater. Pasco County also borders Hillsborough County to the north, which includes Tampa. Pasco County includes cities like Newport Richey, Wesley Chapel, Hudson, and Zephyr Hills. Police determined the body they discovered to be that of Ernesto. They also found his AR-15 rifle laying next to his body, and his white van was located 50 yards from Ernesto. Police searched the vicinity around where Ernesto was found and were unable to locate baby Andrew. It is not known if Ernesto has relatives or other direct ties to Pasco County. Police searched his van and didn't discover any baby items whatsoever. There was no car seat, no diaper bag, and no baby toys. The only exception was a single pacifier. DNA testing was conducted on the pacifier, which concluded Andrew's DNA was not present. The FBI joined the search effort, which included Miami-Dade Police, Collier County Sheriff's Office, Pasco County Sheriff's Office, and numerous other law enforcement agencies, combined with a slew of volunteers who combed through fields, woods, and wetlands. Collier County, Florida, where Naples is located, was searched by the Collier County Sheriffs, who didn't specify exactly where they searched, but witnesses claim the sheriffs were searching areas of Everglades City. Collier County, Florida, where Naples is located, was searched by the Collier County Sheriffs, who didn't specify exactly where they searched, but witnesses claim the sheriffs were searching areas of Everglades City. A sheriff's canine was aiding the FBI in searching the Everglades when he was bitten by a water moccasin. The canine, named Fi, was rushed to a veterinary hospital where he was given anti-venom and made a full recovery. Police ended their search for Andrew empty-handed on February 13th, 2 weeks after he went missing. Miami-Dade detective Alvaro Zabaleta gave a statement to the Tampa Bay Times, quote, "Unless something comes in that leads detectives in another direction, any new clue has to be lead-driven. Right now, we are not looking anywhere. Of course, we're hoping that somebody does have him, and the reason he doesn't come forward is fear," end quote. Andrew's surviving family accepted the services of Fernando Alvarez, a private investigator who offered to take on Andrew's case pro bono. He primarily worked to determine the route Ernesto may have taken from Miami to Pasco County. Fernando spoke to the press and said, quote, "We want to give closure to this case to find baby Andrew so he can be buried alongside his mother, but it's not happening," end quote. Ernesto had a criminal history involving car theft and ran a chop shop by selling stolen vehicles and car parts. He was also previously charged with aggravated assault, which was subsequently dismissed. Investigators believe Andrew was likely murdered before Ernesto took his own life, but they have been unable to locate Andrew's body. They don't believe it's likely that Ernesto was in possession of Andrew when he arrived in Pasco County, mainly because baby supplies were not found in the van near Ernesto's body, except the pacifier, which did not contain DNA linked to Andrew. Andrew's great-aunt, Reina Valdez, spoke with the Bradenton Herald, quote, "I do keep hope that he will appear alive. The last thing one loses is hope, but the police have told us there is a possibility that the child will not appear. I keep hoping that he will appear," end quote. Theories as to what happened with Andrew are purely speculative at this point. Ernesto may have discarded Andrew into a dumpster, or a wooded area, or into a body of water such as the Everglades, en route to Pasco County. If he placed baby Andrew into a dumpster, it could be one of thousands along the Florida peninsula. And if this happened, Andrew would have eventually been transferred to a landfill where he would surely never be found. There's been cases of people who were discarded in dumpsters and hauled off to a landfill. If investigators can narrow down an accurate time frame when a dumpster is picked up, they are usually able to narrow a small perimeter within the landfill where the body might be located. Despite pinpointing a location in the landfill, it is extremely rare for them to ever find a body. There was a case in 2012 involving a married couple who the serial killer Israel Keys murdered. He kidnapped them and took them to an abandoned house outside of town where he left their bodies in the basement. 2 months later, the house was demolished. The day the house was being torn down, a construction worker reportedly smelled a strong foul odor in the basement and assumed it was a dead animal among the rubble. After the house was leveled, the debris, along with the bodies, was hauled off to the local landfill. Police were able to narrow the landfill perimeter to a small radius where they determined the remnants of the house were discarded. They searched tirelessly around the clock for 3 straight months and never found a trace of either body. Even the FBI assisted in the search for both victims. Ernesto may have given Andrew to someone he knew and he's being cared for, either somewhere in Florida, most likely Miami, or in Cuba, where Andrew's family is from. The Florida Department of Transportation manages a countless number of CCTV cameras throughout the Florida highway system. Since Ernesto drove over 400 miles across the state, surely authorities would have captured his van on a series of cameras. Pasco County sheriffs have released a route they believe Ernesto took from Miami to Blanton, despite sheriffs admitting that Andrew could be anywhere in the state. The drive to Blanton from Miami covers over 300 miles, and there's literally dozens of routes one could take. Here's a few possible routes. Route 1, get onto I-95 North, then take I-595 West, then merge onto I-75 North toward Fort Myers. where he would stay on I-75 through Tampa Bay and all the way to exit 293 near Dade City in Pasco County. Route number 2. Merge onto I-95 North in Miami, exit onto I-595 West, merge back onto I-95 North for 5 miles, then up US Highway 27 North for most of the trip, then merge onto State Road 60 West for 15 miles, then taking US Highway 98 North, which takes him into Pasco County. Route 3. Merge onto I-95 North, then Florida Highway 80 West, then to US Highway 27 North to the town of Archbold, then to Florida Highway 70 into the Bradenton area, hooking up with I-75 North, heading through Tampa, then getting off at exit 293 toward Dade City. Route number 4. Take Interstate 95 North to Florida Highway 710 West, taking him past Lake Okeechobee up to Florida Highway 70 West in Archbold, Florida. Turn right on US Highway 98 heading north. In Frostproof, continue north onto US Highway 27 North, then turning left on Florida Highway 60 West in Lake Wales. Turn right to head north on US Highway 98 North through Lakeland, and connecting to Old Lakeland Highway in Richland, which takes you to Locke Street in Dade City, where he would have headed west, where Locke Street becomes Blanton Road, heading into the town of Blanton. And route number 5. Take Interstate 95 North out of Miami, continuing all the way up to the Cocoa Beach, Port St. John area, connecting to Florida Highway 528 West to the Florida Turnpike, heading northwest. Then exiting Florida's Turnpike onto US Highway 27 North, then heading down Villa City Road and to Florida Highway 33 South to Mascot. Turning onto State Road 50 heading west, hooking up to US Highway 98 heading south, then down Highway 575, which would have taken him into Blanton. There are so many different routes to take between Miami and Blanton. If he didn't take one of these main routes, he could have zigzagged down dozens of potential routes between Miami and Pasco County. It would be quite helpful if authorities released any information regarding Ernesto's vehicle being caught on CCTV along his route, because otherwise, the route he took is really anyone's guess. If he killed Andrew and discarded his body, then finding Andrew would effectively be looking for a needle in a haystack. There isn't much hope that Andrew will ever be found, if Ernesto indeed murdered him, but we can only hope they recover him one day, or better yet, he miraculously resurfaces alive, currently as a 4-year-old boy. Andrew has an older sister who would love nothing more than to see her baby brother again, who is now under the care of surviving family members. Thankfully, she was not present at the house when the 3 women were killed. Andrew is classified as an endangered missing child. There is currently an $8,000 reward offered for information leading to Andrew. Andrew was born on January 18th of 2020. He was just 10 days old when he was last seen. He is described as Hispanic with black hair, black eyes, and is of Cuban descent. If you have any knowledge whatsoever regarding the whereabouts of Andrew Caballiero, including anything that might help bring closure to surviving loved ones, please contact the Miami-Dade Police Department at 305-471-2400. You may also reach out to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement's Missing Endangered Persons Information Clearinghouse by calling 888-356-4774. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, stay safe out there.